So here I am with my first YouTube video, Shonita-Rachelle, teacher lady, and what it's going to encompass. My videos are going to encompass weekly lessons. As an educator, I'm always looking for an opportunity to give lessons. But do I want to have fun as well? Yes, I want us to have fun. I want us to have a interaction that is positive and enjoyable for all. My focus has always been on helping young ladies, and I'm hoping that men, women, and young people are blessed by this YouTube channel. So everybody in the country right now is getting ready for back to school. So if you are a mother, father, auntie, uncle, grandma, foster parent, whatever it may be, you're in the process of getting your children ready to go back to school. And so with that being said, we are all looking for in the mail, via email, that piece of paper to come. Ta-da! What is that piece of paper? The supply list. What does my babies need to have in order to go back to school? What do I need to get? What's on the list? Is it a Texas Instrument calculator? Is it pens, a pencil box? Is it crayons? Is it a stylus? Because now we're using technology, and a lot of kids are using tablets in school. What are the things and supplies we need to get to go back to school? And so that's the time of the year the country is in right now. If you're in the Southeast, you're right now preparing for school to start within the next week or two. And people that are probably in the north or the western parts of the country, you guys may be starting in September. But needless to say, you're either school clothes shopping, supply shopping, waiting for those supply lists and book lists to come in the mail or via email. So you're getting geared up for back to school. But I got a question. How many of us are getting ready for back to life? As adults, we are going to take care of our children. We are going to take care of our grandchildren, our nieces and nephews, those youth that are placed under us. We're going to make sure they get everything they need. But are we making sure we get what we need? Are we making sure we check off our list? We've been spending time in the summer with them. We've done vacations. We've done maybe vacation Bible schools. You've done activities. You've done all these things with your children. And now, so they're going back to school. You're making sure you guard them and supply them with everything they need. But what about you? Are you ready? Do you have your back to school supply list? How about we call it the back to life supply list? There are a few things that I want to mention that needs to be on your back to school back to life supply list. So the kids have their list. You're doing what you need to do, moms, dads, grandmoms, grandpops, aunties and uncles and cousins. Even siblings may be shopping and supplying things for their brothers and sisters, because I know I did for mine. So you making sure they get everything they need. You are making sure you check everything on that list. But I want you to open up and pull out the back to life list. The back to life supply list for us adults. So what's on the back to life supply list? Your faith. Maybe you've been on vacation. Maybe you've been away from home. Maybe we haven't had time to fellowship and worship. So what does your faith look like? What does your faith walk look like? Your faith talk look like? Maybe you need to get back to your faith and believing and knowing that when you send your babies off, and yes, there's things out there in the country, we're still dealing with COVID. We're still dealing with monkeypox. But when you send your babies off, you need to know that God has them covered. You need to know that you've done all that you can do. You taught them their manners. You gave them all the supplies they need in their backpack. And so that you are going to send them off and trust them to the school districts and the administration. So the first thing you have to have is faith on your back to life supply list. The second thing is forgiveness. There are some things that some of us are harboring. We're mad at the world, or we're mad at our cousin Joe, or our cousin Felicia for things that she did when we were 16. And so this summer at the family reunion, I didn't even want to see Felicia because Felicia got on my nerves. But I remember when we were 16 and Felicia stole my bicycle. Or I remember when she stole and kissed my boyfriend. I wanted him. So how about let's go back to life and let's put forgiveness at the top of our list. Also, are you walking in your purpose? We know that we need to be nurturers and providers for our children and for those that are amongst us. But are you walking in your purpose? Are you doing the things that God called you to do? I have waited for 2 years, y'all. 2 years to do this YouTube video. Wasn't like I didn't have the resources. Wasn't like I didn't have the time. I had it, but I waited for 2 years to do this video. Why? Because I was laying around, I was visiting other people, just didn't feel like it. And all the time I felt the pulling of God to tell me to go ahead and do this YouTube video. Somebody needs to hear your voice. Somebody needs to hear a word from you. And so I'm doing it. So start walking in our purpose. That's number 3 on our supply list. Also, let's do an emotional and mental health check-in. Are you checking on each other? Are you checking on yourself? Is it okay? Have you said that it's okay that if I am dealing with some things that are beyond my control, that I can go to a counselor? I can go and seek professional help. It's okay. A lot of people think it's a bad thing. Oh, they must be crazy, or they must be this and that. Well, I'm crazy because I've been dealing with some stuff and I can't deal with it by myself. So I need help, and it's okay. Back to life supply list. Check your emotional and mental health. Do a check. And if you need somebody else, you need a pastor or a counselor or a good friend or somebody to talk these things to, do it. Do it. Number 5 on my list. Am I practicing self-care? And I know everybody say, oh yeah, I practice self-care. I get my hair done, my nails done. I'm going on a trip with my friends. And all of that is great. All of those old things are wonderful. But that's not all self-care encompasses. Self-care is taking care of the whole body. Are you taking care of your emotional health, your physical health, making sure you're eating the right things, getting the proper rest, making sure you are putting yourself second, because God comes first and then comes you. So making sure you are putting yourself at the top of your list. Because what I learned is, the hard way, I learned that if I don't take care of me, I can't help nobody else. So I need to make sure I take care of myself. So let's practice some self-care. And let me give you a disclaimer. People, self-care does not mean being selfish. Yes, it's okay in the kingdom to be able to help people. It's okay to give and to donate and to help others and deposit seeds into others. And so self-care doesn't necessarily mean being selfish. Oh, I ain't giving her this. She got a man. Or I ain't giving him this. He make more money than me. That's not self-care. That's selfish. It's not okay. And it's a difference. Self-care and selfish are 2 different things. All right, so what about saving for your future? I am bad with money. Money come through my hands and go out my hands. Come through my hands and go out my hands. And so therefore, I need to learn how to put money up. I need to make sure that I am saving for an emergency. If my car breaks down or if something happens, that I have a nest egg. And the golden rule is to be able to put up 6 months of emergency fund. Listen, people. COVID didn't teach us nothing else. We don't know what may happen in our country. We don't know what may happen in the world. So therefore, we need to prepare. We need to prepare. Start putting aside some money. When you get that extra $10 and you want to stop at Chick-fil-A, because the Chick-fil-A lines are always long, I see you in there. So when you want to stop at Chick-fil-A, say, you know what? Can I go home and make me a sandwich and put this $12 in my savings account? Immediately do it. And that's the only thing that's been working for me. If I immediately go ahead and say, you know what, I was just about to spend $12 at Chick-fil-A. How about I go ahead and transfer that $12 into my savings? It's gone. I was going to spend it anyway. So I'm taking it out of my checking and I'm putting it into my savings. And I'm looking and investing in my future, because I don't want to be in this country, in the world that we live in, and things are happening and I'm broke. And I'm waiting on a stimulus check because I don't think no more are coming. So therefore, start saving, start investing in you financially. And remember, you have people looking at you, whether it's siblings or neighbors or friends, mostly your children or your grandchildren. They're looking to see what you do. So they learn from us. The one thing I did learn from my mom is how to stress shop. And yes, when she get mad at my dad or things ain't going right or she had a bad day, she sure enough was stopping at the stores and spending extra money that did not need to be spent. So what did I learn? I learned, so when I'm mad, I'm upset, things ain't going in my way, the kids make me mad or I'm mad at my husband, therefore I need to go buy something. And so that made you feel good because you have those material things, but it's stress shopping and it's keeping you from saving and investing in your future. And most of the time, ladies, we already know we don't need no more shoes. We don't need that blouse. We got plenty. We don't need nothing extra. So stop it right now. Stop it. Stress shopping. Stop it. The other thing is giving back to the kingdom of God. On our Back to Life supply list, we all need to be giving back. Are you doing things that would make God pleased? Are you doing things that will enhance your community, enhance the kingdom? What things are you doing? What have you done lately? What have you done for me lately? Ooh, yeah, y'all remember that song? That's exactly what God is saying to us. That's what our Creator is saying to us. What have you done for me lately? What have you done for the kingdom? Are you a person that gives? Are you a person that pays it forward? Are you a person that gives with a clean heart? Not saying, oh, I'm giving this $20 to this here little fundraiser, but I really want my $20 back. No, that's not giving to the kingdom. And that's not giving with a clean heart. Make sure that if you are giving and you plan to deposit in others, that you are not doing it with a opportunity to seek something back, or to find out what you can get out of it, or to be praised. When you give it. And sometimes a lot of people, you give quietly, meaning other people don't even know that you gave. You wrote a check and you ain't said a word to anybody else. You volunteered at a program and went on back home and ain't say anything to anybody else, nor did you expect anything back. So give to the kingdom, and it will be given back to you tenfold. You don't even have to look for it. You don't even have to expect it. God knows your heart, and He knows what you're doing. The other thing I want to say is, last but not least, on our Back to Life checklist is, what is your prayer life like? Have you been praying? Have you been spending time with God? I know I can say, and I can speak to this from an honest place. For about 5-6 months now, I was mad at God. I didn't want to pray. I didn't want to read my Bible. People would send me devotions and prayers, and I would say, oh, thank you for sending me that devotion. Send them a text message. Send them back an email. Oh, thank you, that blessed me today. Half of the time, I wasn't reading them because I was mad. I was mad at God. Recently, I lost my brother. And I said, God, how can you do this to me? Our birthdays are a few days apart. This month, August, we would have been celebrating. I would be turning 48. He was turning 43, a monumental age. And so we were looking to celebrate our birthdays. And so now he's not here to celebrate with me. So now I got to find some other ways to celebrate his life and also continue to live my life as I know he would want me to do. But in doing that, I have to get back to my prayer life. I stopped doing it. I had to be honest with myself. Shonita, you're just upset because God took your brother and made him and put him as a king in His palace, made him sit on the right hand throne with Him, and you should be happy and praising God and thanking Him. But no, you were angry, and so I had to do some self-talking, talking with the Lord, some praying and praising and talking with others to say, God, forgive me because I have sinned. I know what your word says about death and life. I know what your word says about your kingdom. I know what it means when people say they're going on to be with the Lord and they're no longer in pain. I know that. Talked and spoke it to other people all the time. But when it came to me to put it into place, I became angry. I didn't want to deal with the truth. So yes, I now had to revamp my prayer life. We're halfway through year 2022. Guys, we don't know what 2023 is going to bring. But I know that I want to be ready. I want to be making sure I'm doing what's on my Back to Life supply list. I want to make sure that I'm doing the things that will please our Creator. I want to make sure I do things that are a blessing to others. So as we end this YouTube video, make sure you are checking, as you are checking your students and your children's back to school supply list, check your own list, your Back to Life supply list. I thank y'all again. This is Shonita-Rachelle, the teacher lady. I hope y'all enjoyed this YouTube video. Remember to like and subscribe, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. You know I'm new to YouTube if I can't even say that. But thank y'all for listening and watching it.